Hi, it's Jean. Welcome back to another episode of Metamorphosis in Motion, where I check in on my progress from my midlife transformation. So today is day 48, so that makes it 6 weeks. And as you can see, I have just managed to get a shower. It's late in the day. I tend to do these later in the day after my day is over. Maybe I'll change that up. But for now, had a lot going on today. Tried some new things that I'm going to talk about here in just a bit. And I had a hard, tempting time, but I managed to pull through and make it here. Didn't give up. I was so close. I was like, I'm just feeling it today. Like, I'm never going to accomplish this or keep going, so why bother? And so today I changed my mind on that, and here I am. So what happened today? It turned out, okay, so how did it start? I have been dealing with I've been working on trying to deal with past trauma and trying to understand it better, some new healing techniques so I can maybe help my daughter with some of hers. And I'm starting to learn more and more about the vagus nerve and trying some of those techniques. So started with last night trying some frequency work, which was different. Okay, when I say frequency work, let me just not get too, bear with me here a second. This is all gonna look pretty funny here in a second, but we gotta do that. I'm very forgetful at the moment. So I did a meditation. So they're these nighttime meditations. They run basically all night, and in the background is a certain frequency of sound. And I guess it was fine. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that I wake up one day and think, oh man, my life is so much better today. I think I might be kidding myself, but it was a start. So I'm trying something new. I don't know I'm skeptical, but I'm optimistic, so we'll see what happens. There are things I'd never thought would work, and I tried them, and lo and behold, they did have some benefit. So gotta try. And today I thought, well, let me try some meditation. And I don't have anything structured right now, so it's sort of like that, look something up and then put it into practice. So it was some breathing work. And that was different. That was something I haven't done I have done some breathing work. I'm aware of breathing work, but I hadn't really sat down and done 15 minutes of breathing work, which is what I did earlier today. And I had these weird feelings of like tingling in my back, like up through my spine, in a good way. And then at one point I felt really, really warm. And I wondered if that was just something happening in the positive or it was a hot flash. I don't really know. So I don't know. We'll see. That's a start. And so that, I don't know. Then something strange did happen to me after that. I felt strangely like really enthusiastic about getting back to the gym and getting back into shape. I mean, I used to lift weights and I was fit and you know, I've gone up and down, but for long stretches of time, I would be lifting weights at the gym and really feeling good and strong and healthy and happy about that. So I thought, well, maybe now is a good time to do that again. Well, that lasted about, I don't know, maybe a couple hours, and then I started cleaning. And when I clean, I have these thoughts about, why doesn't anyone ever help me? Now, mind you, I do make requests, but I don't say, all right, everybody, gather around, we're going to do a big cleaning, because usually I'm all over the place. Like, I can't manage in my mind to come up with tasks to give tasks to someone that they can do, because I haven't finished this or I haven't done that, and then you can't vacuum until I dust, and you know, whatever. So I let my mind sort of spiral about nobody even asking me. Now, if I dug a little deeper, I'd probably find out that they don't ask because they're worried about what might happen. So I'll find out about that next time I talk to everyone. But then, oh my gosh, so I get all the cleaning done, and then my daughter says, well, I want to make dinner. So the kitchen that's like spotless, I just think, okay, well, there goes the clean. But it can't stay clean. I don't live in a model home. It's got to be used. So it was clean. Some things that really needed to be clean were done, and we start over again. That's just part of the process. What I did not have to do, I did not have to make dinner. I did not have to think about what I would want to order. If someone said, hey, what do you want to eat? What do you want to order? Because I was not in the mood to think about that. So in the end, it was good. And to be fair, my husband said, we have got to make sure that this kitchen is as clean as it was before my daughter started cooking. And I think they did a pretty good job. I'm going to go check on it in a little while, but it doesn't matter anymore to me. It just doesn't matter. And in that thought spiral, I was like, this is when I give up. I'm like, I don't care. Nobody's watching these now anyway. But that's not the point. The point is the practice, the keeping going, the staying accountable for what I'm doing and continuing with that accountability. So I thought, in thinking, I'm not going to do these, I'm going to go to the store and grab a 6-pack because that will make my day much better. That's all I was thinking. But I thought, well, I made sort of a verbal promise, or maybe not exactly a promise, but a verbal commitment that I would not drink to be a better role model for my daughter. Now, I've said before, I don't know that this is a permanent lifetime thing, but I think as long as I'm using it to manage my emotions, that isn't a good thing to do. It isn't a good behavior for anyone to model. So I brought that back to mind, and if I had not been doing these daily check-ins, I probably would have given in. I probably would have said, whatever, I'll start again tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, because with a 6-pack I get 2 days, 3 a day. That's how I've worked it out. So I didn't. We sat down to dinner and I ate and I enjoyed it. She did such a great job as always, and I didn't worry about the kitchen. I took myself a shower, which is what you see here, and it's the end of my day. So we're gonna go hang out and maybe watch a movie. We'll watch something, but I'm hoping we get to watch a movie tonight because I've been kind of, I don't know, I like watching movies in the summertime. So that's what happened today. So I would say to anybody out there listening, first, if anybody out there listening has a good way to get back on track when their mind starts spinning, I'd love you to drop a comment. I did manage, and I think, like I said, a lot of it has to do with getting on these videos every day, even though I know that there are not very many people watching yet. Who knows when that'll change. But because I've said it and I made that commitment, and as I keep moving forward, and one of the things that stops me in my tracks every time I want to get a little bit farther ahead with the health coaching and things is, well, who am I to coach anybody when I can't do it myself? Well, I'm not perfect. I don't think anybody out there is perfect. So I don't think that I should think that way, but I also don't think that I should offer up lots of good advice on how to be healthier and not follow that advice, at least most of the time, for myself. I mean, I am not a robot. I wouldn't expect anybody else to be. What else was I going to ask? I don't think I remember. That's sort of the story of my life lately. How do I remember? So yeah, or if you're struggling a little bit and you want to know more about kind of how what would I do if I wasn't doing these videos? I don't know. I think that I still have an accountability to my daughter, who needs to look up to me to be there and be strong and not rely on crutches, because I certainly can't expect anything different from her if I can't show good behavior. So that's today. I hope tomorrow, we have 2 floors. I got the upstairs done. Tomorrow's the downstairs, which also includes my studio for my work. And so I'll be working on that tomorrow, get everything spick and span and ready to go, because I am on fire with getting stuff done. And I just want to keep charging ahead and not have to think about any clutter around me. I want it all in order. And maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow. How am I organizing? How am I getting it in order? How am I getting rid of stuff that I've been hanging on to for way too long? That might be tomorrow's topic. So check in and see if it is. I am going to go now and check in with my family. I am glad you're here and continuing this journey with me. Subscribe, and I will eventually get out some other videos that I think you'll find interesting, particularly if you're interested in bees, farming, or how to develop a healthy eating plan without a lot of work and no calculations. Stay with me for that. So I will see you tomorrow. Good night for now.